doing?
When I say Eden Hutchinson, what comes to mind?
Great ball player. Yeah, the guy obviously talented as all get out, but just zero quit. Continues to play through the echo of the whistle. And he kind of embodies everything that Dan Campbell wants that team to be about.
Some people would say the same about you.
Some might.
Is that when you go up against a team that has those types of characteristics, and you've had the great fortune of playing the Lions, this is going to be the fourth time now in 3 years, do you find that it brings different things out in you? Because whether it's, early on it was, you guys had a lot of losses after that game. You fought your way into the playoffs, but you still lost in Detroit. You come back last year and you get that victory in week 2. Do you feel like each time you play them, it brings something out differently in you, or perhaps marks a different milestone in where you are as a team?
No, it's another opportunity each week, but obviously with it being Detroit and how they've been in recent years, at top of the NFC, so it's a great matchup. And when it comes to their mentality, how they play, you have to match that intensity and try and set the precedent early on. I think our guys are up to that challenge. I think that's kind of what we're trying to embody as well. So, it's just another good opportunity. Happens to be on the road on a Monday night.
Did you relish those opportunities to go up against teams like that, like the 49ers you talked about, that you finally were able to beat them as a team and personally? Mm-hmm. Do you relish those opportunities in season to be able to kind of test yourself?
Yes. Each week is extremely important, don't get me wrong, but anytime you're playing the teams that are always, considered as playoff teams, the teams that are at the top of your conference, it's important as a measuring stick for confidence. Also, how good can we execute and do the little things right against great teams? You don't have to go above and beyond, but you have to do your job and do it at a high level. And so, had a home test last week, got a really good away test this week, and especially with all the noise that we're expecting.
Baker, getting Mike out for practice and potentially in this game, how does it change? Obviously, he's a Hall of Fame talent, but the ability to predict what coverages will be, the running game, how's that all kind of mix in there with you guys?
Yeah, obviously Mike draws a lot of attention, so you have to expect that. And then for our coaching staff, which they've done a great job, is how to get him isolated in one-on-one situations, how to get him the rock, and we have to take advantage of those opportunities. But also understanding the other side of it is when he does draw a lot of attention, guys have to step up and do their jobs at a high level. So there's a lot more pros that come with it than cons. He gets double teamed every once in a while, but that's just an opportunity for somebody else to step up.
What's your reaction when you see him step out there and the number 13s in practice?
It's a good safety blanket. It's nice to see him out there.
Baker, with Branch being out this week, Monday night, what still stands out to you in that second for the Lions?
Obviously they've done a really good job with turnover battle this year. Starts with Kirby Joseph. He's just a true ball hawk all around the tape. And just not just the secondary, but their linebackers do such a good job of making it hard on you. Those guys have played a lot of ball together, and you can really, really see that on the tape. So expecting a good challenge. Obviously, they're banged up in the secondary, but they got good backers. They can kind of play out of any personnel they want. And then also expecting a Liam McNeil back, which he brings his own challenges as well.
The turnover battle is obviously huge in every game, but this week, you guys have only turned the ball over twice on offense. Mm-hmm. The Lions have only turned the ball over 3 times. Is this going to be coming down to who doesn't turn the ball over probably wins this game?
Yeah, I'm not an analytics guy by any means, but when you look at turning the ball over on the road, especially in an environment like that, you just can't have it. It just gives them so much momentum. The crowd gets more involved. So, it's first and foremost, ball security is always the most important thing, and especially on the road against a good opponent. And that just means everybody doing their job, whether it's pass protection, holding on to the ball as a running back, QB getting out on time to the right place, and tucking it when I need to.
To that point, what have you done specifically this year to cut down on those things? Is it just decisions in the moment? You trained your brain that way? What have you done different?
Mentally you can kind of put more of an emphasis on it. Now there's times where I'm taking chances, and I think there's some throws early on, especially you look at week 1 Atlanta, that some turnover-worthy plays for sure that just didn't happen to go that way. It's a balance of understanding where we're at in the game, needing to take shots, certain things like that, and just being on the good side of things this year. And that's, hopefully keep that rolling.
On The touchdown to Tez last week, puts his arm up. Did he see something in coverage and you guys see it together, or is he just busting off a route? Like, what's actually happening in real time that the two of you hit that?
Yeah, and it's supposed to really go across the field, but a good adjustment on his part. Safety's waiting on the other side for him, so he just takes it up the middle. It's not necessarily a busted coverage. They had it covered well if it's, you run the drawings on the paper, but Tez making an adjustment on the fly, that's huge for a rookie to be able to do and do it confidently in the midst of a game like that, especially in that moment.
Speaking of that, did you get a kick out of him where he admitted when he heard MVP, he's like, wow, that's for me? I didn't really do anything. He actually thought that. Did you get a kick out of that?
I get a kick out of him and Shep interacting every single day. So you guys got a little dose of that on camera, but that's everyday life here at One Buc Place.
What can you say about the job that Brian McClendon has done since he's been here? Not just this year, but getting guys like Ryan Miller, up to speed last year, coming off the practice squad and working with Tez and and Cam Johnson.
It's done a hell of a job. I mean, BMAC does our 2-minute presentations and just the details he has. I mean, his meetings, I can only imagine, they're flying 100 miles an hour. He goes quick, so you better be paying attention. And then I know those guys, obviously, if they have questions, he's always doing his extra walkthroughs with them, communicating on different looks. And he's just done an incredible job of not just talking to guys of, okay, here's the starting group for our 11 personnel. Here's what we got. Everybody has to be dialed in. And he's obviously made sure that everybody's paying attention.
The act of empowering your young guys, whether it be Tez Johnson or Cam Johnson, to be able to go out there and, like you said, make an adjustment like that, that has to be really gratifying for you. And even when I had asked you after the game, in that moment when you were making that unbelievable scramble, did you think you were shouldering more of the load? You said no. Like, I have full faith and confidence in these guys. Just the importance of building them up so they can have moments like that. How big is that for you?
I mean, that's a key aspect of leadership. Is one, you got to know your job and do it well, but also empowering the guys to feel like they can go above and beyond. And that's a huge thing of leadership, is instilling confidence, and it's not a false confidence though. It's making sure they really have it down, and then at that point they realize it, and then they take it on their own. So it's those guys have done a good job, and now we just trust them.
Baker, the obstacles you've overcome up to this point, does that make your current success any sweeter for you?
No, it's wins are wins, and that's we're sitting at 5-1, and you look at the only interception I've had is when we lost. So you look at that, and I look at how do we win, and that's what I'm worried about and focused on. So our team, I believe in it. I said it from training camp. I like the young guys that we have. I like the people we have. Obviously, it's never ideal when you're having to move people around all the time. Don't get me wrong, but nobody cares. Nobody feels bad for you, so you got to find a way to make it work.
Did you ever lose confidence in yourself after the 23 season, not knowing what your future was?
No, at that point, I mean, confidence-wise, prior to that, probably during the mid-lull of the Browns, the Carolina, that time period. But after 23, realized got to find the joy in football again, enjoy wherever I'm at, and be a good teammate, and try and do everything I can.
How late in the season do you allow yourself to look at the standings, or has that already began with the team being in first place?
There's a lot of ball left, so not looking at the standings. Looking at, you do that, you consider, if we were looking at the standings the last couple of years here in Tampa, probably would have gone in the tank. But so there's a lot of ball left.
Would you say that it was going to the Rams, because you described that as a place where you kind of fell in love with football again? Was that what helped you get your confidence back?
Yeah, that was a huge point. Especially they weren't going to the playoffs at a 5-game stretch. Yeah, just seeing how much I could possibly learn from those guys out there, and find fun in football again, and just enjoy it. So yeah, that was a huge point.
You talked a little bit about Detroit's secondary, and they are banged up, but they've been really good against the deep ball this year. And Josh Broussard have been very successful on that through putting an emphasis on it. From your point of view as a quarterback, what makes a defense really kind of studious and tough against the deep ball, and what can you do to overcome those type of things?
I mean, communication in the secondary, but also pass rush. When your O-line allows you to have time to throw it downfield and push it downfield, there's a big difference there. And obviously they have guys that can influence that on the front. So, there'll be times that we try and push it down the field, but this is a game that how well can we execute and keep that defense on the field, and just go out there and do our job.
Baker, what are your thoughts on seeing Jared Goff and the fact that he's rewritten his story and is playing at an MVP level too?
Yeah, I mean, I love Jared. great guy. It just, like I've told you guys before, from somebody that can relate to needing a fresh start and somewhere else, it's good to see that story. Everybody loves a good underdog story or whatever it is. Go through adversity, come out on the other side stronger, and that's life, and that's what football can teach you.
Why do you think it is that so many people have latched on to your story?
I don't know. Kind of like just mentioning there, through the whole journey, just trying to be myself and admit that I don't have it all figured out, and I'm learning along the way, and I'm not afraid to admit that, and just enjoy it. Thanks.